So, in Easter Hunt today, what I've been doing is some more saving stuff. So, I have already developed yesterday saving the position with all of this and this and some other code. So, now I made it so it saves health. So, at first, to save the health, goes to the player damage script health manager, and it makes it named health manager, I think is how it works, equals new player damage. Okay, string JSON string equals JSON utility to JSON health manager. So it's saying the health manager is the player damage public things, like over here on the player, all of these things will be made into a JSON file, I'm pretty sure. So that's the health manager stuff, and it saves all of those things. So it's saying make that into JSON, I'm pretty sure. And then file.write all text, the path I have decided in the saves folder of the file name of health.json down here, health path. So the save health makes it so it writes the text in the JSON of that, and it makes it a JSON string, so it's a JSON file. So it understands it's JSON, not the .json file part. So the debug.log just tells me in the editor of float saved to plus the path it was saved to. So it will say path that it was saved to, the health path saves /health.json. So it'll say float saved to colon saves /health.json. So to load the health, if the file exists, health path, if it checks if there's a file called health.json, and and if there is a file called health.json, then it will have a string, JSON string equals file read all text save the health path, so saves /health.json, and player damage is loaded data of a nickname equals new player damage, and the JSON utility from JSON overwrite, JSON string and loaded data, makes it so it loads that kind of, and now it debugs what it says. So in the editor, it'll say if your health is 5 when it loads it. It will debug loaded float colon 5 if you last saved it at 5. And the player damage dot health makes it so that the player damage script, which I defined up here as a script, so .health equals loaded data .health. So I have a variable in the JSON that I've saved of the health right there. So I have that, and it saved. So the player damage .health. So the actual health equals what it loaded. So that's basically what I've been working on lately. Some other improvements too, like enemies, I've added them across the map, And I have some rocks here, and a lot of stuff like that. I will, for the next version, for 0.1.5 when it comes out, I keep intending to add the normal map to this rock, but I just keep forgetting to commit that to Git, and I keep having to redo it, and currently I don't have it because I haven't committed that part, and I haven't made the texture. So I'm going to just, real quick, this is not supposed to be in that folder, put that in the terrain layers. So now in Blender, go to Blender 4.4, and now it's loading. And I want to make the texture in Blender. Sometimes you would make textures in Blender, sometimes Photoshop. For bigger studios, I'm pretty sure they use Photoshop. I like using Blender for it because it has a lot of tools that I like for it. Just going to check if it's actually running, and no, it didn't ever start. Weird. I'll try, I guess, 5.0 because that hasn't started. There we go. It might crash. It's an alpha version, so might crash. Don't know why 4.4 isn't launching. And if you're wondering how I got Blender 5.0.0, it's because I went to Blender's website, so blender.org, and if you go to their download and then go to daily builds, you can download alpha, beta, and a release candidate version. So they're currently, at the time of them making this, they have 5.0 alpha and 4.50 beta and 4.2.11 release candidate. I don't know what that really means. So I'll go back to Blender and make the texture now. So I don't want it to be a cube texture because that would mess up the bake of it. If I go to shading, it's loading. Okay, there we go. And then go to material, texture, noise texture, then vector. Come on, it's loading slow for some reason. Don't know, it's making it go slow. So it's bump, height, normal to the normal. Now it's compiling that. Oh, and also Blender 5.0.0 has a glitch of where it sets the distance really low. So I have to set it higher. There we go. So I can turn the detail up and scale it up. And remember, this won't be the actual color of it. This will just be the shadows and stuff. So you can do a lot with normal maps. If I invert it, it makes it like that. If I don't, it does like that. And I could make a height map, I know, but I am just going to make a normal map because I don't know how to do height maps on planes and actually figure out how they work. I'll just, for the purpose of this, I'll just try. So I'll put the factor into the height and the displacement into the displacement. Then the scale. Oh, and I also have to set a setting of displacement and bump. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I need to add more polygons. So there you go. And scale it down. So I would probably make something like that. And the more polygons I add, the more detail it adds to the displacement. Like if I add so many, it gets really even more detailed than the thing can do. So I'm going to turn it back to bump, factor, height, normal. There's like a difference between bump and displacement that I can't really name, but I feel like there's definitely some type of thing that's different. So next I have to turn it to cycles and then set to GPU compute because my CPU isn't as good as my GPU, and also that's the entire purpose of a GPU. So not diffuse, that would be for baking a color. I want normal for my normal map. So I'm going to make it so that the thing is baked onto a normal map with an image texture. So I need to press the new button right on the image and say the name of it, of the name of, let's name it rock normal or rock norm. Turn off the alpha and I'll make it 4K 4096, 4096. There we go. Need to set it to a non-color texture and I'll bake. Okay, I might need to set the samples lower here. Oh, come on. Yeah, Blender had a glitch there. It didn't like what I just did. Restart Blender. Okay, that was a problem. So we're back to the displacement was last saved. Change that back to bump. Back to height, normal. And this is why you normally do not want to use an alpha version of something, because it has glitches like that. So make a texture, image texture. Does it have it? No. Okay, new rock underscore norm 4096 by 4096. Turn alpha off. New image, non-color. Turn it to cycles, GPU compute, and set the samples to like 50. Bake, normal, bake. Now it's baking onto the image. So now after this finishes, pretty good GPU, so it'll finish pretty fast with the slow samples. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to now, I'm going to left click these like 3 bars, image, save as, go to where you decode EasterHunt assets, textures, rock, norm, and save it. I'll go back over to Unity, where it has its texture now. Yep, it does. Just set the max there to that because I made it a 4K texture. And now go to the terrain. So go to the terrain and paint texture and this. Select the rock normal, or I can drag it in here. And I need to import it as a normal map, so press normal map, apply. There we go, and now the terrain should have that. It looks tiled from a distance, but you would pretty much never see from this high, from this far of a distance of it. And if you want to know like how Unity renders their terrain, well, you can just left click up here of the wireframe draw mode, and you can see how many polygons it has. It also improves the terrain quality as you get closer. You can see that so you see on a little to right to the middle now is a lot of triangles, and over here isn't many. I'll make the other one over here lots of triangles by getting closer. And there. And that's how Unity does their terrain. Now I need to scene repaint because I changed it to like a solid but colored view. Here it is, like no shading, kind of. No sort of lighting, just colors. And also you can't see normal maps that well in this view. So I'll go back to this. It might also just be because my normal map isn't that high on this. So I'll go to my thing, clear these warnings here, there. There's one anything. So I'll show you that it saves and loads by playing the game. So it's importing the assets, starting it. There we go. Hello there, please. Okay. So this. So I made it so it loads everything back when you press the load button. So if I go to a different position, get lower health, and then load, it goes back to here. Next thing I need to implement is saving rotation and the amount of eggs you've gotten. So try to do it as soon as possible. And I might not be able to do it by 1.50 release. I mean 0.150 release. We'll probably be able to do it by at least like the beta version of 1.5. I mean 0.1.5. I'll make 0.1.5.1 probably if I can't get done by 0.1.5. I can make it in the next slightly fixed version of it. my game currently. We have these glow enemies that I figured out. They push you back. And that's pretty much it I've worked on so far new. So I will see you in the next one. I hope to see you in 2 days to download my game. Remember, it's at 2:30 p.m. We're going to start it live. And I will see you in the next one.